Yeah, now we are live.
So finally, congratulations to all of us. People will be thinking कि like क्या ही बन रहे हैं, but really apology for this part will be actually. So okay then let's start. So hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Riti, I'm audible to you, no?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So many students were asking curious about sir, our placement season has been started. We are going through a number of questions. कि कैसे चीजें करें? क्योंकि everyone is trapped in this part of recession. Companies तो आ नहीं रही, so from where should I prepare? So in the series of this, in the answer of this, we are come back with this episode of We Can Be the series, where we will be having our speaker Riti Kumari, a well-known personality. So she's from Walmart, software engineer at Walmart. जिनको नहीं पता है Walmart के बारे में, so let me tell you about it in a very brief. The Walmart is one of the best, giant retailers in the list of top product-based companies. Am I right, Riti?
Yes, it is Fortune 1 company.
Yeah. So, okay then, Riti, it would be great if you can tell a little bit more about yourself to our audience.
Yes, so this is the part I don't like the most because I myself don't know what I should go ahead with. But hi everyone, I am Riti and I'm not a well-known personality or something like that. Right now I'm working as a software engineer at Walmart. Apart from this, I love to do community work. I tend to share resources or some placement materials to everyone who is on LinkedIn or different social media platforms like Twitter as well, Telegram as well. Apart from this, I love to have sessions with people. I love to interact with everyone, and I love to hear more things which I used to deal during my college days. So yeah, this is pretty much about myself.
Before starting for this session, I would take a moment to appreciate you, Riti, like what you are doing for the community. You trust me, your journey has inspired a lot of students. And the posts and the content, the kind of content that you are putting over LinkedIn, it has helped a lot of students. And on the behalf of all those engineers, we would like to thank you for that part. And so, okay, let's start with we have okay, how to crack off-campus opportunities. So, पहले तो like it would be great if you can give a brief about this off-campus opportunities. What are the details? What are the process involved in that?
Okay. So basically, the people who don't know about types of placement and what happens. So basically, there is two types of placement which happen. One is on campus and other is off campus. So basically, when you have great companies in your college visiting your college, you don't really need to appear for off campus. But when you have such colleges where there is less or kind of no on campus placement, you should at least be focused more on off campus placement. So basically, what happens now in off-campus placement, there is a kind of small journey which one should follow. So there are four keys to getting you placed off-campus in a company. So the very first key is start preparing. So basically, how you can prepare is like there are not many subjects or many topics which are very much which are very much asked in the interviews, which are very much asked by the interviewers as well, which are very much asked in the online assessment as well. So you need to start your preparation. So for the preparation, if you are aiming for a software developer job, I am just talking about that prospect. So if you're aiming for a software developer job, the very first thing you need to prepare is a programming language, because as a software developer you are solving a real world problem, or you are solving some bugs, you are solving some fixes, you are introducing a new feature, so you should be good enough in coding and problem solving skills. So start with a programming language of any of your choice, and then you can switch to DS algo, that is data structures and algorithm, which would provide you a medium to solve those questions. So coming to the part of data structures and algorithm, there are a lot of controversies regarding this. Should we do DSA? Should we do development? Should we do CPA and anything? So my take on that is ki do whatever you like. Just basis on judgment, you pass on a thing ki, okay, a person is saying that CP is not good. So you won't try it. That is a bad thing. Try it yourself and just pass that you are comfortable enough in learning that thing or not. So first thing is learning a programming language. The second thing is having a good grasp on data structures and algorithms, solving some good amount of questions on different coding platforms. Now, the third thing which comes into picture is core CS subjects. So many people tend to ignore these subjects or like take it as a night study. But trust me, guys, this is something which you are mostly grilled on by most of the companies. So don't take it lightly. Core CS subjects include OOPS, DBMS, operating system, computer networks, and a some or a small amount of software engineering. So you can have a good grasp on these subjects. Now, this is pretty much on a technical prospect. Now, you need to have a good resume. For a good resume, you need to have good projects as well. So have some projects. Again, don't bind yourself that I should do a project in web dev only or Android dev only. You can explore different fields of ML, data science, web dev, app dev, and there are many things, IoT. So you can explore yourself on these things and you can just prepare a good project. Now, the last thing is better your resume. So you can enhance your resume first with the CGPA you are getting in the college, second with some good amount of projects, and third with the internships you are having, and fourth also with the skills you are having. And then I guess you are ready for applying to off-campus job opportunities or off-campus companies you are ready to apply for.
Okay, that's great. Nitin, you have mentioned we start with the programming language. But trust me, there are a lot of students are struggling with the selection of the programming language because in our community, many students have basically said, should I start with C++ or Java? And we used to, take a stand that you should start with this programming language. So, what will be your solution to those who are struggling with this part?
Okay, so see, every coin has two faces. So if something has
Yeah,
some good things, it also has some bad things. Not framing it in a bad thing way, but something has a limitation as well. So see, there are many programming languages out there, but mostly people fight a lot on C++, Java, or Python. So see, every programming language have their own advantages and disadvantages. Now, I am a bit biased towards C++ because I started it like I learned C in my first year and then I kick started with C++ and I really love that. So I am a bit biased towards C++, but again, there are some advantages and disadvantages to every programming language. Like C++, the execution time is very fast. Java, like in Java, you have some kind of bulky code, but what happens now? When I was applying for companies off campus, so in some companies in the online assessment, they only have the option of Java and Python. They didn't have the option of C++,
yeah.
like coding in C++. So there are some I won't say demerits, but there are some limitations to different programming language, but it totally depends on your use case. So if you have a good grasp on any of the programming language, now switching to different programming language won't be very much tough. Like it will require at least 14 days or less than that to switch from one language to another. So my journey was I started with C, then I switched to C++, then for making projects in Flask, I switched to Python, and then right now I'm working in Java. So it's kind of like I have tasted a medicine of all the languages. So you can't restrict yourself to one language, but if you have a good command on any of the languages, even after you're having an online assessment or online test or interview, it won't take much time for you to switch to another language. So that is my take on that. You can choose any language of your choice. If you are going for competitive programming, C++ is something which is having a good execution time, so you can go with that. Java is slight slow in terms of execution, but again, sorry, Python is slight slow in terms of execution, but again, taking into consideration, Java is something which is like present everywhere in every online assessment. You
Yeah.
might don't have C++ as a language, but Java is there present everywhere. So Java has that use case. Python, again, Python is something which will open the doors for AI, ML, data science, and much more things in development, also Flask, Django. So there are many things and many limitations to every programming language. It's just that you just need to start with one, and just switching to other would be like, I guess, a cupcake for you if you have a good command on one.
Okay, that's great. I guess this is the answer which many students are looking for when it comes to the selection of programming languages. Riti, like you have cracked Walmart. So it was your on-campus or off-campus opportunity?
No, so I like along with Walmart, I cracked around 13, 14 companies and all were off campus only
Yeah,
because in my college I didn't had on campus placement at that particular moment of time because of COVID. Like there were many companies who were
yeah.
priorly visiting, but they didn't visit the college. So all were off campus only.
So you have mentioned about 13 to 14, and here are the students are struggling for one or two. So like, would you share some insights about that, how you were able to crack 13, 14 companies, and Walmart is one of them?
Okay. So I never intentionally wanted to crack these much companies or have at least a tag like I've cracked 13 companies. It was just that like I won't rely on something very much because see, I after giving interviews, I know that my interviews went well. I would be selected, but again, there was a thought that what if I don't get selected? So again, I used to apply for different company. So I didn't used to wait for the results, and in that process, I used to apply to different companies altogether. So the motto wasn't that he cracked 13 companies. The motto was only to have at least 2 to 3 good offers in hand because see, we also saw that right now many people aren't like they haven't even got their offer letters, right? So this was the situation during the recession time. So you can't take a
Yeah,
risky, okay, well, crack one company or two company and they will be chill. Like anything can happen. Many companies were revoking the offers as well, and they were very good
yeah,
companies. So you need to have a backup in hand. I'm not saying that if you have cracked like two companies just in fun, also apply for different companies, but at least have 2 to 3 companies offers in hand so that there is a good backup with yourself. And again, see, I guess cracking off campus totally depends on your level of preparation. So if you are having a good amount of preparation, if you're applying for the same role, that is software developer or software engineer, you don't need to like navigate much on the preparation part because the preparation remains the same. It's just that you need to have a look through like all the vlogs, like what were the interview questions which were being asked or how the interviews are taking place. Apart from that, with the preparation perspective, I guess everything remains the same. So it's just that if you have a good level of preparation, appearing to different companies and cracking offers is not very tough. But again, giving interviews is also a good thing because you gain a lot of experience and you get confident for your next set of interviews.
okay, so that's great. But beyond this preparation, like, do you follow any strategy or kind of some sort of tips and tricks to crack these multiple offers? Like, do you think that there was this part that played a very major role while preparing these opportunities?
Okay, so again, coming to that part only, the preparation is something. But see, there are some companies now which like target mostly on the problem solving and your coding skills, but
Yeah.
there are some companies which target more on the core CS part as well and more on the projects as well, and then in the coding or DS algo part. So again, whenever you are appearing for any company, now just have a look on all the interview experiences which is present on GFG, LeetCode, or any other platforms, and just see what kind of questions they are asking because you never know what kind of question would be thrown to you, right? So you should be having at least a good knowledge about what kind of questions are being asked in this particular company. Yeah, the exact question won't be asked, but you would be getting an idea. Okay, somehow they are asking more on the core CS part. Somehow they are asking more on the programming language part, and somehow they are asking more on the coding part. So that was the thing which I did like before appearing for any of the interviews in any of the companies. I used to have a lot of research on what type of question they are asking, and also after giving an online assessment, you also get an idea. Ki, okay, this is the level of questions they are asking. This is the like amount of questions they are asking on this particular topic or this particular topic. So that is something I guess one should do while appearing for interviews or before appearing for interviews.
Okay. So, like you were talking about the preparation, when it comes to preparing ourselves for the upcoming opportunities, so there are a lot of hurdles, there are a lot of common challenges. Being as a experienced senior in this field, so you have obviously face the same common challenges during your preparation journey. So, like, could you mention some common problems that you faced, and like how did you overcome those problems?
Okay, so the most common problem I don't think I only faced. Everyone faces is कि problem solve नहीं हो रहा है.
Exactly.
So basically,
Exactly.
whenever anyone starts their coding journey, the major reason behind anyone getting demotivated and leaving that is problem is not being solved. So again, that is the thing na ki what we think na ki we are idiot, we are not able to solve problem, we are idiot, we are not able to do it. But the thing is like in everyone has been through this phase and we need to understand that ki, no one became genius in just one day. So everyone went through this phase ki problem solve nahi ho raha, they're not even able to solve problem. Okay, they are coding for 30 days, but after 30 days also they're not able to solve the problem. So this happens, like this is a normal norm, so you need to normalize this, because I've seen that many people, when they see that they're not able to solve problem even after 1 or 2 weeks or 30 days of coding or practicing and everything, they tend to leave everything. But that is not a solution to that, right? Like just take a example, you failed in class 12, so what you will do, you will leave studying, or you will make sure ki chalo theek hai, last time I got failed but this time I'll try my level best to at least succeed or at least get passed. So again the thing is ki never leave anything in between, just you're not able to solve that, because this is a common norm which everyone goes through. It's just that you need to be pretty consistent. It would be ki, okay, in 30 days you are not able to solve a problem, but it won't be the fact that in 60 days also you're not able to solve a problem, or in 120 days also you're not able to solve a problem. But you need to give yourself time. You can't think ki, okay, 30 days I've learned every data structure and now I will crack Google or Amazon. That is not a good thing you should have in your mind. It's just that the more you practice, the more you become better. So I guess this is something which is very challenging for every person. But again, my tip only to that would be ki, if you are facing this challenge, like face the challenge, don't run away from the challenge. Face the challenge and challenge yourself ki, okay, I'm not able to solve the question in 30 days, I'll again practice, and in another couple of weeks I'll again try to solve that question and see if I'm able to solve that question or not. Again, one more thing is there, sorry taking your time. So again, one more thing is there ki sometimes what happen is na ki a person is not prepared enough, and it's like ki syllabus is 100%, I have learned 40%, and I am going ahead and I am assuming ki I'll get 60 marks. So that is also not a good thing. So have a good preparation and then solve a question. Have a good or proper understanding of a particular topic and then only solve a question. So I guess that would be the thing.
Okay, I hope so. That this answer will clear many of the doubts of the students, because they, there's this problem while approaching the problems in the technical interviews. So consistency is the key, guys. So stick to your goals, have some faith in yourself, and you will obviously you can also come in the next session of Engineer Hub, where you have cracked some certain companies as well. Okay. Riti, you have mentioned about the technical interviews. The first round for any company is this technical interview, or they can online assessment. So, can mention some insight about this online assessment, like what are the formats, about how many questions are available in there, and what are the difficulties level of that questions?
Okay. So basically, online assessment is kind of a second thing which happens. The first thing always stays the resume screening. So when
Yeah.
your resume screening is finally passed and you are getting an online assessment link from any of the companies, see, online assessment is kind of something which differs from companies to companies. So many companies love to ask more on the programming side, more on the core CS side, more on the OOP side, and then they provide just two coding questions. Some of the companies, what they do is they provide only three coding questions, and they conduct different rounds for online assessment. Like the first round is totally focused on the programming language, the core CS subjects, the OOPs, and some concepts regarding that. And in the second round, they used to conduct a coding round in which there is only coding questions, no of the core CS or that kind of questions. So online assessment is also something which is like separated into different parts, but it again depends from companies to company. So when I gave interview, I'm not disclosing the company name, but when I gave an interview for a X company, they had an online assessment in which they had like couple of 10 to 15 questions from core CS subjects and then two coding questions. And again for a Y company, when I gave the online assessment, they had two rounds of online assessment. The first round was totally based on the core 4 CS subjects and 30 MCQs were there. And in the second round, there were two coding questions. So it depends or it varies from companies to company. But again, as I told that if you're preparing for SD interviews, core CS and coding is something which goes hand in hand, and you need to have a good command on that if you're appearing for any of the online assessments.
Okay. Ritu, you have appeared for multiple companies. So was there any kind of similar pattern among these multiple companies while giving that online assessment? Like, was there any similar pattern?
Okay, so I saw that they tend to ask more questions on time complexities and finding the bugs in the code. So that was a common pattern I thought I saw in many companies, that they used to put key find the bug in the code, or does this
Yeah.
code looks good to you? Is there anything which is missing in the code? Kind of these questions. And again, that there is a stack question or there is a queue question. They're explaining a question and they're asking you what would be the time complexity for that particular question. So these are, I guess, some of the common questions which are being asked in the interviews. Also, they tend to ask questions on oops, what is abstraction, polymorphism, or something like that, or they are just giving you a scenario and asking which kind of inheritance is that. So
Okay.
mostly questions on these kind of types mostly appears in the online assessment.
Okay, that's great. So, Ritu, like you have mentioned multiple times about the resume part. Okay, the first before the online assessment, there's a resume screening, and we have to clear that round. So, like as a senior, like what kind of suggestions would you like to deliver to your audience? Like this should be a resume, and these things should not be present in your resume. What are the formats? What is the correct? Basically, what are they looking for in the resume?
Okay. So nowadays there is a small term called as ATS, which is quite popular
Yeah.
among the students as well, and they know that if they have a good ATS score, their resume is very good. If they don't have a good ATS score, they tend to work hard to make it a good ATS, like have achieve a good ATS score. So basically, whenever you are making your resume, now just keep two three things in mind. So if you're applying for off-campus opportunities, it's not only you who is applying it. There are many people who are applying. So I have
Yeah.
seen like within a couple of hours, there are like 40,000 applicants who just applied to that particular job opening. So this is the situation right now. So you need to be well aware about the situation as well, that you are applying in this kind of situation. So your resume is the first thing which will come into picture with any of the interviewer or any of the person who is reviewing your resume or the ATS, everything like that. So first thing what you can do is keep start with the education section. In the education section, if you're someone who is a fresher, you can go ahead with your college CGPA followed by your class 12 marks. Class 10 marks is some kind of optional. If you want, you can. If you don't want, you shouldn't mention it. Then you can come with the work experience part. Now many students says that they don't have any internships. What to do in that
Yeah.
particular case? See, if you don't have any internship now, simply remove that section. It's not important to mention anything. See, again, it might sound harsh, but I am like kind of being very true to yourself as well. If you're doing a campus ambassador internship at some XYZ company, I don't think you should mention that in your work experience section, because ultimately you're appearing for a software developer job. And if there is then something which is related to that, it's kind of a marketing thing. So if you're appearing for a marketing job, you can put that thing in your resume. But just to just to mention something in the work experience, I would suggest that don't do that. Remove the work experience part, but if you have any internship, just mention it there. Now after the work experience, mention the projects. Now for the people who haven't done any internship, so what we mostly do in the internship, work on any project. So you have a time. If you don't have any internship, just work on a project dedicatedly which is made by yourself and make it outshine. So if you don't have any internships, now just make your project speak for yourself, speak for your skills. Not any internship should let you down that you haven't had any internship. Just make your project speak for yourself. So the people who have their internship, they can make some projects related to some kind of topics related to that, or some real world problems which you think you face day to day, or like there are many project ideas available on internet. You can just go and have a look. But if someone is there who didn't had internship, I would suggest you to have a really good project in hand, so that it could give a impression to the person who is interviewing you. So I was interviewing for the 6 months internship, but I didn't had any 2 months internship. So I made some pretty good projects because I was like kind of interning with a startup. So they made a website and I was a part of that, but ultimately the startup got closed. So I just made that website and I made a kind of clone and made a project about that on GitHub. So you can do that. Then work experience. Then going forward, you can mention your skills. Again, in the skills part, if you have done a 1 hour boot camp of something, please, it's a request. Don't mention that in your resume, because the time you mention ML in your resume or anything in your resume, you are gonna grilled on that particular thing. So rather than leaving a bad impression, it's best to be at least honest. So mention the skills you are confident enough of, not a 1 hour boot camp skill. That is a tip, I guess. And then you can go ahead with the coding platforms and then followed by achievements. In achievements, you can mention whatever you want to. You just need to showcase everything to the resume, to the recruiter. But in achievements, don't mention that you like cooking or something like that. That is again it doesn't plays much role. So and many people tend to mention certificates and interest. I don't think that is a good thing to be mentioned on your resume on languages as well, English, Hindi, or something like that. That is also, I think, is not necessary to be mentioned in the resume. So sorry for taking this answer so long, but I really wanted to cover everything.
No, no. I guess that's a very realistic answer that you delivered, because most of the problems, the mistakes that you have delivered in this answer is totally correct. Because I have seen many resumes where hobbies are cooking, dancing, and singing, such kind of things. So yeah, I guess that's a very realistic answer. And one more thing, Riti, you have mentioned about the project. Like project can be the best alternative of the internships. So, and as the number of projects also level over the internet, and that's the problem where students find themselves confusing. Like which project should I mention? Like which project should I work on? So, do you have any kind of suggestion? Like these are some certain projects or some idea that you can work on it?
So, see, right now we are kind of very like India is moving forwards to a digital thing. Like right now,
Yeah.
we open our phone, we just order our food, and we get it delivered on our doorstep. We order groceries, we get it delivered on our doorstep. We order, even if order we order our clothes, we get it on our doorstep. So kind of this is a digital era in which we are living. So I guess according to this digitalization in which we are moving towards, I guess that would be the best projects if you can make something on this digital thing. Because see, again, there are a lot of hackathons also which happen, right? And there you
Yeah.
get a problem statement and you need to build some solution regarding that. So I guess most of the hackathon also focuses on this part. Ki make something very digital which would help you in like which would help you in the coming future as well, which would help India as well. So
Yeah.
I guess mostly the real life problems which you see and which you think can be digitalized at some extent, you can make projects regarding that. To give you example, what I can say is. Okay, so you can yeah, right now you see that in many coding courses we get the TA support, or also if you
Yeah.
have seen any kind of airlines or Mintra or something, there is a help support chatbot where we put our queries, we get answer about that, and things like that. So with chat GPT is also a thing. So why not to make something surrounding that? Why not to make a website where we can ask our questions? Why not to make a website where there is a community where you post your questions, and anyone like Quora, if anyone face the similar situation, gets you an answer. So projects like this is something now which solves a kind of real world problem, and it's very unique as well. But again, if you start making clone of different websites, again that I guess restricts your idea, restricts your imagination to that clone only. So why not to frame some projects regarding that? I guess that would be very much helpful. Also e-commerce is something which is nowadays very
Yeah.
hyped as well. So you
Common.
can make a yeah you can make a website for yourself where you are promoting any brand or where you are doing something where you are like it's not necessarily something which should be like a startup idea or something like that, but make a project which is something unique. don't follow a clone approach or something like that. I guess that is not a way of presenting a good project, but something like this, a real chatbot, or something where you make a community where you post something, you get a solution for that, or something like that.
Okay, that's great. And beyond this, I would recommend you can have at least one full stack application in your resume, right? Priti? Because you need
Yeah.
to
So,
understand that like how the front end and the back end specifically these to communicate. And ideally, we also have some
yes.
database with some kind of API. And the best example of this can be your personal finance tracking app. And as Ricky mentioned, that it should be on real problems that exist in the current scenario. So obviously, there is a need of better financial management among the young college students and millennials too, right? Ricky? If they struggle with some
Yes.
kind of expenses and projects, I hope Riti faced some similar issue in her life as well. So you can have a project regarding this where you can work on this personal finance tracking app. And in future, if you want, you can turn this into a scalable business as well. Like you can make your core app free and you can adopt a premium model basically. But वो चीजें अलग हो जाएंगी beyond this. So let's stick to this off-campus opportunity only. Okay, so that was the nice answer. One more thing, Riti, like the during the whole preparation, many students are focusing on their technical skills, and most of the time, soft skills are overlooked. Like they are the most underrated skills. So, like, what's your view on this? Like, how these skills are important as much as these technical skills?
Okay. See, like I get many messages from people, and like right now also I was making a DBMS series, so many people were like, "No, make this series in English," and some people were fighting with the fact, "No, why English?
Yeah.
I understood Hindi, I don't understood English much. I can't speak English much." So, see, soft skills is something which plays an important role in your interviews as well, or in like real life as well, right? So if you're not able to communicate what you think, if you're not able to communicate your thoughts, that provides a gap between you, your interviewer, or a person who you are communicating with. So again, I guess English is kind of bit important for your interviews. I'm not saying that if you're having a good command on Hindi and you're not having a good command on English, you are like someone who should be depressed with. But again, soft skills is something which I guess you should focus on, because the way you express your thought depends, like the way you express your thoughts now, next move of the interviewer depends on that only. So like I just highlighted this thing of English Hindi just because of this, because I see that many people don't want to get out of their comfort zone. But I guess ultimately, if you're not getting out of your comfort zone now, there would be a time you need to get out of your comfort zone and do things out of your comfort zone. So from the place where I am, I guess like there was issues with English. I wasn't able to speak English very fast. I wasn't able to understand it also very fast, because it wasn't the case that my school was a Hindi medium or school or something like that, or my college was that. But again, Hindi was a common language which was used to, mostly teachers or students don't used to communicate much on English thing. So that time I wasn't able to speak this fast as well. So but you need to improve. Again, the same thing is now, you need to improve, you need to communicate. You can't go away, or you can't just make yourself a shell and live in that particular shell. You need to get out of your shell. So soft skills is something which again plays a very important role for your communication, for communicating your thoughts, for communicating your approach, for communicating many things. So soft skills is something, don't ever think that okay, what happens if I'm not able to see a thing, so what happens if I'm not able to communicate in a very good way or something like that. It plays a role. So there is HR round. People try to know that what are your aspirations, what are your dream, where you see yourself, why you need this job, and there are many things. And again, on that particular part, you need to communicate, you need to show confidence. So I guess when you start communicating, when you start saying things, you gain confidence, and that confidence is something which is really going to help in your interviews, in your real life, in whenever you are meeting with someone, or like, sorry extending it, but whenever you are
Yeah.
meeting someone, or whenever you are appearing for any of the interviews, it will play a huge role.
Okay, that's great. So, Ricky, finally, any single piece of advice from your side to the juniors?
Okay. Uh, Failures are the pillars of success. So never consider yourself as a failure because uh, everyone has failed in life sometime. Everyone has
Yeah.
received rejection. So like I applied to 50 plus companies, I remember, and it was a time like at night 12 a.m. also I used to just put a cold email to some recruiters or something like that. So like everyone has seen some struggles. I
Yeah.
won't say that I am someone who has seen very much of struggle. I'm just relating it to everyone that everyone has seen some struggle. Everyone had received failures, received rejections. So
Yeah.
rejections are a part of life. You can't just think in a way that I have been rejected and I should leave, I should throw everything, but I like koi kaam ki nahi hai. So don't think in that way. Rejections would be there, but again, being consistent is something you should never leave on because like if you are consistent enough now, these rejections won't matter much to you because ultimately you would be focusing more on upskilling yourself rather
Yeah.
than being a crybaby for a rejection. So I guess failure is something which you shouldn't be afraid of. You should embrace failures and learn from these failures and then apply it to the next set of things you're doing.
Okay, that's great, and that's where mostly people skip this part. Mostly students skip this part. So, thank you. I guess we have a limited time frame, and once again, Riti, thank you so much for coming on our platform and sharing your valuable insights and all. So, it would be a great help, and it would be a great inspiration for all the students who are watching you right now. So, thank you once again, and thank you for joining us. Thank you, guys. Bye bye. See you on the next
Bye
video.
all.